A lot of people here in El Paso think they can fly a drone and fly it anywhere, but that can get you in trouble really quickly with El Paso International Airport, Fort Bliss, and other areas around the Mexico border. There's a lot of different things that you need to take in consideration when flying your drone. My name is Jeremy Schofield. I run From Above Droneworks here in El Paso, and I will show you today some things that will keep you safe, some tips and tricks, and if you're interested in becoming a drone pilot, this is the video for you. To the moon, let's go. Common mistakes as a beginner here. These are some of the things that I've talked to with people all around who reach out to me with information or questions about, hi, I crashed my drone. How do I fix my drone? Here's some of the common mistakes. I've been doing this for over 3 to 4 years now with a military background. So I have a lot of just different experience, and this video here is intended to just share some of the knowledge that I have so that you can not make the mistakes that most people do. So first thing is flying too high. When you get your drone, sometimes it's already set to factory settings where it's in meters instead of feet. So understanding that difference and knowing the type of controller that you have are some of the things that will keep you safe and actually help you from, I would say, breaking your investment. So when you purchase a drone, you want to fly it, and it costs a lot of money, and you don't want to waste that. So most people have drones and don't fly it anymore. Either it's too risky or it's just not for them. But for you, I just want to make sure I give you information that will keep you safe. So flying too high, the maximum altitude FAA allows drone pilots to fly is about 400 feet above the ground. But that depends on where you are. And in this video, we'll cover some steps to keep you safe. Next is ignoring battery warnings. When you ignore your battery warnings, it gives you less time to react, and I would say it defaults to the features that's programmed into the drone. Depending on what type of drone, make and model that you have, each advice is different. So take what I give you and apply it. If it doesn't apply, continue on. All right, and then crashing your drone is flying too fast and avoiding obstacles. Depending on your sensors, a lot of times that can get you in trouble if you don't know what you're looking at. Next is there's only two ways to fly a drone. You can only fly a drone for recreational purposes or for work. So depending on which path that you take, most people start off just flying for fun, and then they switch over to getting their actual Part 107 license or certification. Most people don't know that, so this is a video to kind of pique your interest, open up your eyes that if you enjoy doing this for fun, why not try to use the same skills to make a profit wherever you could. But there's some certain steps that I will cover in this video that will help you understand, like, hey, look, the trust safety test. If you have a drone that's a certain weight and must be registered, always check in your airspace, and I'll give you the tools to be prepared for that. So let's start off with recreational. So if you're flying for fun, there's an FAA test that's free. I say again, free. You don't have to pay for it. It teaches you the basics of what you need to do to get your drone off the ground and into the air. When you're flying your drone for fun, you have to understand that you are flying in airspace, and airspace is controlled in most places closely around airports and things of that nature. So if you're flying your drone, you have an aircraft that has to be taking in considerations in the airspace that affects everyone all over the world who's ever been on an airplane. So just take that in consideration, and this is a test that you can take to kind of get the basics understandings of being a pilot. Also for Part 107, Part 107, you may hear that term a lot and not understand what it actually means, but it just means that you're flying for commercial purposes. That means you want to earn a profit. Maybe it's for construction, real estate, things like that. Those are the most common for inspections using a drone. You must earn a certificate and pass the knowledge exam. So the trust certificate is your basic. Your next level will be your Part 107, and at the age of 16 is when you can earn your Part 107 certificate. For those that are in high school, this is a possible new career path for you as well. And I just want to give you an opportunity to kind of see this is a new door that you can walk into, and it'll set you up for success in the rest of your life. Pretty cool. All right, so you bought a drone. Now what? So some new pilots, they have questions about, can I fly in this airspace? Can I fly anywhere? There's certain times and places where things change, and then you just need to be aware of it. So this YouTube channel that I've created, I just want to give education to everyone out there that may not know. Now you know, and once you know, you always know. Do I need a license? It depends. Only if you're flying for business. If you're just flying for fun, it's for recreational purposes, and that's what the FAA considers into two categories. So either you're flying for fun or you're flying for profit. Do I need to check the airspace? Yes. In El Paso, you definitely need to check the airspace. It is a very busy and different airspace, and this video will help you stay safe. So, understanding the El Paso airspace. So, you have the El Paso International Airport, which is Class C airspace, which is frequently commercial aircrafts that are in that airspace. Usually there's about a 5 to 10 mile radius around the airport that if you live near or your address is near that location, it is considered controlled airspace, and that you may need to have special authorization to fly in that area. So before you go out and put your drone in the air, always check your airspace. Fort Bliss and Biggs Army Airfield. For those of us that live in the northeast of El Paso, this is a major consideration when flying your drone, that even though you're not on a military installation, the airspace around it is protected and controlled. Just think of national security reasons and safety as well. So avoid flying near military airfield or for safety purposes. And then you also have to consider border patrol. So border patrol here on El Paso, they fly around the border. This is a border city, so most of the airspace has different other types of aircraft, whether it's helicopters, medevac helicopters. They all fly in these airspace. So as a drone operator, you're not the only person out there. There's other pilots in the sky that have real missions and that need to be safe as well. So understanding El Paso airspace is different, especially that we live on the U.S.-Mexico border. So that is a major consideration for a drone pilot, especially now, as far as things are changing and things are getting more stricter when you're flying your drone. So make sure you're following all the rules and know the information when you're out there. So the key rule I want you to understand, no matter if you're a recreational pilot or a commercial pilot, check your airspace before you fly. There's some apps I listed here that will give you the tools to be successful out there when you're flying. We have Air Aware, Autopilot, and ForeFlight. So these are, I would say, the trusted, the reliable apps that you can use. Air Aware is free, and Autopilot is free, and ForeFlight may have some advanced features. For those of you who are advanced pilots, that gives you more information on the airspace around you and the flight paths of such. Live Radar 24 is another app that I use, and Dronecast is the one that I recommend for checking the weather before you fly. So as you follow along, there's about 8 steps you can submit an airspace authorization. A LAANC is something that you would hear, which is a low altitude authorization notification capability. A lot of words, but just means that, hey, I have an app that I can talk to air traffic control to give you authorization and control airspace. So where should you fly in El Paso? I think there's about 4, one located on each side of town. That will give you, I would say, area to practice safely. So if you live in the lower valley or near the lower valley at Escarte Park, it gives you a large open area that way you can practice. Joy Barraza and Vino Memorial Park in the northeast. I just recently found and discovered this park, but the space is huge. That way there are softball fields, soccer fields, different places of the area that you can take advantage of. Red Sands in the far east off of Montana. It says a desert terrain. It's open. Just be mindful at certain times of the year. There's ATVs and things out there that could be another risk. But that normally, if you go in the daytime, it's going to get hot. drink water. But out there in the desert, you can be able to fly. On the west side of town, I found that Lost Dog Trailhead. That's a good place for you to fly your drone and kind of see the different sides of the Franklin Mountains. So if you're interested in El Paso, here's some couple recommendations that I recommend that you go check out. So thinking about flying a drone in El Paso, there's about 4 steps I want you to take. Step one is take the trust step test. It's about 30 minutes. If you have any questions, feel free to reach out to me. I'll be able to help you along the way. Also, step two, like I mentioned before, is just learn the airspace. El Paso has airports, military, border patrol. Just know before you fly of where you can and cannot fly. Then also start practicing in an open area. Sometimes if you don't even have to practice on in the, I would say, the natural environment, use a simulator. Like listed up here. There's a couple of simulators that I recommend. If not, feel free to drop anything in the comments section and that you want to discuss, and we can get that conversation started. All in all, fly smart, be safe. We do offer local training here in El Paso at From Above Droneworks. If you want to get your Part 107 test as well, go to my website and feel free to look up any information. Other than that, guys and gals, thank you for tuning in. Get in touch with me if you have any questions or information. I'm always here learning more about airspace, about drones, about the future. I would love to have a conversation with you. So feel free to drop any likes, shares, and comments down below, and we will get to you on the next time.